Hey everyone, a video that loads of you have been requesting, and it's been requested so much for such a long time that the requests have actually died down a little because I think some people have thought, he's not gonna do it kind of thing. So I'm doing it. Time for a tour of my music room and a tour of my bedroom to follow in the very close future. So without further ado, here's the tour of my room. And I'd just like to remind everyone, I'm no professional or anything. Before anyone says anything, I've got a job and I make lots of money by doing various different things. And I pay for all this myself unless they're birthday or Christmas presents. Yeah, so I guess I'll move on to showing you the whole room. So this is going to be cool. Okay, so starting at the door over here then, this is obviously where I come in. And this is what it looks like from the other side. This little outer section of the attic hasn't been sorted out yet. It's going to be plastered very soon, but as you can see it's plasterboarded and the heating's there and everything, so it's totally cool. This carpet's only temporary, of course. So I come into here, and this is my attic music room. So first off we have the light switch. Only really used in the night because I like the natural light from the window. So I'm going to start off over here and work my way around. So here we have the first of many sockets. This plug controls the red lights that go around the room, as you can see. And I've had questions. There are a few sections of the lights missing as far as the bulbs go, but that doesn't really matter. It adds to the cool effect. Back there you can see a crate. And behind the crate is basically a load of guitar cases folded up, the soft ones. One for an acoustic guitar, one for a bass guitar, and one for a just normal Strat electric guitar. Here we have my speaker stand. Now these speakers used to be on the floor, in that corner over there and that corner over there. However, I put them on the stands, for obvious reasons. It's not cool to have speakers on the floor, really. Even though I can't extend them very much, it's still very good to have them on stands. I've got these stands because I go around doing mobile discos and everything. I haven't, I'm not doing that kind of thing very much anymore because I've sort of shifted on more now to theatre lighting work, but yeah, I've got a lot of my equipment left over and stuff, and the best thing about having the speakers on these stands is if I'm, working over here on the decks or whatever, I can aim the speaker towards me. If I'm playing along with a track on the drums, I can just whip it round, and the cable is obviously gonna reach and everything. I can just listen while I'm on the drums. So that's really cool. In the crate there's nothing really important. I think I said that. There's just a load of sound cables and stuff, and you can see the lids for my decks above it. Here we have my drum kit. We'll be going behind it in a minute. It is currently a 6-piece kit. So you have a snare, 4 toms and a bass. And this is a Mapex M-Birch kit. It's a fusion kit in the sort of wine red colour. The look a different colour in whatever light you shine on it, basically. But it is a very nice finish, as you can see there. Obviously, that isn't very dusty. You can see the dust clear on the camera, but it's not as if I can write my name in it or anything. It's quite hard to keep the dust away from it. So you can see I've got a couple of crash cymbals here. I'm working on upgrading all my cymbals as the time goes by. I might have a bit of spare money maybe in the new year to work on my cymbals, but my hi-hats are really nice. I've got a B8 Splash. I'm not a big Splash fan, so I just went out and got a B8. B8s aren't, as bad as these cymbals, but as you can see, this is a Meteor cymbal by Meinl or whatever they are, and so is this crash. I believe this is like a thin and this is a medium or something. This one sounds a bit darker. I don't tend to play it very much because it's got horrible, when you hit it with a stick, the resistance is horrible. And then there's my ride over there, which actually is kind of half decent. Let's move on to around the back of the kit. So here we are around the back of the kit. As you can see, everything is laid out really nicely. I've recently replaced my snare skin. You can see the hi-hats there. I love the Mapex hi-hat stands. I like the way the pedal is directional. I've recently got this kit, actually. It's coming up to nearly a year old, but for 5 years before that I had a beginner's CB kit. So I really like these hats. They sound really good. I believe 8, 10, 12, 16. That's my guess. 14 possibly. And 16 inch, 14 inch, 8 inch, 16 inch again, and 20 inch. So yeah, that's cool. Standard Mapex bass drum pedal. Not a bad little pedal actually. You can see the pillow stuffed in the bass drum there. It's very nice and bouncy, which I like. However, I do play with double kick. I've got a double kick pedal over here, and I'm hoping to get a decent double kick pedal in the sort of £150 range, so sort of maybe the mid range, you know. The reason I'm not using this one over here is basically, well, because it's not too good. It's not up to the same standards as my kit. It's very creaky and stuff, and as you can hear, the pedal is quite loose in comparison to the beaters. So that's not cool. In here is a stick bag. I've got a cowbell above it. There's all sorts in here. There's beaters, brushes, God knows what. They have some ear protection. It's very important to wear ear protection, and some sticks. There's actually a stick that's not looking too good in there. Here we have my main sticks that I try and keep topped up, you know, because you never know when they're going to snap. I like nylon tips. Vic Firth American Classic 7A. Don't know why that says 7AN, but yeah, this is really cool. I like these sticks. I like the sort of thinness. I like them long-ish, and I like the nylon tips. I don't know why I like them. You know, they leave all the marks on your skins, but I still really like them. I am hoping to replace these skins because they're still the standard Mapex ones, but they're not too bad because, as you can see, you've got Remo make the heads for Mapex. They just brand them, but I want some pinstripe skins anyway. So yeah, let's go back around and carry on the tour of the room. Okay, so here I have a beanbag and a load of cushions. Really good to just lie back on and listen to a record or something, or play along on my guitar. Just sort of a chill out area, really. You know, I guess time to express and whatnot if I want to just quickly listen to a record or whatever. It's really nice. I like listening to whole albums at one time. You know, it's just chilling out there. Really cool. There's me, Tom Smith. That is an awesome, awesome, awesome drawing. There's a giant bit of art. Really nice. Coming down then onto my shelf, we have, I don't even know what's down here altogether really. We have a very flexible guitar pick. We have guitar strings, obviously. A box full of, not a box, a pot I guess you could say, full of audio adapters. Come in handy, you know, jack to mini jack, 5 1/4 to 3 1/2, blah blah blah, splitters, everything. Here we have the Pick of Destiny in this little box. It's getting a bit dusty now. I really like playing with the Pick of Destiny actually. It isn't just a novelty thing, it's really nice. Drum key, little bongo drum there. This is the cover for the piano sustain pedal. Finger drum kit, you know, very nice little gift. This shelf really needs a bit of a dust actually. You know how shelves get. Harmonica under there. Got that in my stocking last Christmas. Really good to play around with. And there's a little mini guitar in here and a little mini guitar case. Ooh, it's actually open. There you have the guitar in there. It's some form of Les Paul in a sort of purplish colour. So let me just open that out. It's nice. Coming down then, you guys have all seen this. This is my amp that I showed you. Here are my cassettes. All the cassettes that I have, and I do have some more as well. Here's the amp, the JVC AX2 I believe, and then here's my cassette deck that I need to run a cleaner through it, and a demagnetizer and all that stuff. And this is the start to my retro hi-fi setup. It looks as if they don't fit together, but they do. It's just because the sides of this is silver. I need to get a receiver and a turntable, and then these guys will be set up in my room. Here we have a box. This box is full of my CDs. I no longer use CDs. I haven't bought a CD in about 2.5, 3 years. That contains all of my old CDs, full to the absolute brim. So yeah, I really don't use them, and I don't know what to do with them because they're not worth anything, but you don't want to chuck away fully good CDs, and you know, can't take them to the charity shop or whatever because they just won't take that amount. Here we have my non-slip mats for my turntables, the standard ones that come on there. Here we have my two 150 watt speakers. These are my spare ones. You know, I've got the two on the stands in this room. I used to have all four set up, but you could call it overkill, and I didn't have enough actual power outlets on my wall in order to drive the amp for them. So that was the story behind them. I used these to test this out with down in my last audio related video, so that was really cool. Moving on then, here we have, you know, a very basic guitar which is in right dirty shape, but I can explain why it's like that. On a guitar stand. This is a Squire by Fender Strat. You know, it's a beginner guitar. This costs £200 out of the Argos catalogue with an amp. That amp down there, to be specific. I believe I bought that when I was, well, I had it for my birthday when I was 7, 8 years old, so a long time ago. Out of tune a little bit, and this guy has been with me everywhere. This was my main electric guitar up until a few months ago, and you know, people used to say, man, you're still on the beginner guitar. Well, yeah, it did me fine. So there's my guitar, very well played, quite well worn, played it a lot, so yeah, they're quite nice guitars actually. Here we have just a God knows what Encore guitar, Encore, whatever the hell it says. My dad picked it up for £5 in the car boot, and I don't know what he's planning on doing with it, but it's just up here because I was testing it out to see if it works, and surely it does. This guitar is in rough shape, and apparently it's been gigged all around Ireland. So if you're saying to me, you know, Tom, this was your main guitar up until a few months ago, what did you replace it with? Well, I replaced it with this. Here is my Epiphone Les Paul Standard Cherry Sunburst. Absolutely gorgeous, mint condition. Didn't get it brand new. This is the 2004 edition, but absolutely mint. It is gorgeous. I love this thing to death. You know, I thought this was really nice when I was playing it, but there's no way I could go back to this for my main guitar now after using this. This is stunning. And you might be wondering, Tom, how did you pay for it? Well, I got this instead of a car. You know, go figure. Okay, so, by the way, you might be thinking, whoa, you're a nutter, you know, everyone needs to drive. I can't drive when I'm older because, well, I'm 16 now, I can't start learning how to drive or anything because my eyesight isn't good enough. And of course, I've got a brother and sister. Mum and Dad started them off with their first car and everything, so I had the guitar instead. And it's awesome. If I tilt you on the side for a minute, you can see how nice that is up there. Anyway, coming around, we have my Blue Rock bass. I'm not a bassist by any means, but I do have a bass just to play about on. Don't know much about bass guitars at all, really, but yeah, just got a simple Blue Rock one that I picked up in the car boot sale. Here is my electroacoustic guitar. It's tuned in a weird sort of, I think, G chord, because I was messing about with slide playing the other day with a bit of copper pipe, so that was quite fun. This is a really nice guitar. What I like about it is, even though you can jack it in to an amp, as you can see with the volume and tone controls, it doesn't require a battery, and it isn't overly complicated, so I really like that. Down here we have two hard cases for my main guitars. Here we have one for the Les Paul, and here we have one sort of padded, hard, soft-ish thing for this guitar. Coming around here then, we have a couple of books that have been sitting, you know, around even when I lived in my old house, like 4 years ago, I had these two books. They're quite handy actually, even though I don't really use them. This first one is practically every guitar chord under the sun, which is handy. You know, it's not like having a beginner learn to play the guitar book. It's saying, you know, someone tells you how to play, someone tells you to play G, 7th, diminished, major, whatever. Do you know, obviously that chord doesn't exist, but you can just look it up, and it makes everything fairly handy. And then you have the complete guitar handbook. You know, it's quite handy if you want to change anything on your guitar, because, like, obviously I'm not very, you know, I haven't got the best. Actually, do you know what? I thought this was a book. I do have a book like this showing you how to repair guitars. However, this isn't one of them. Is it? Yes, it is. It gives you all sorts of tips, and it also gives you a bit of history in the middle. I was flicking through the history bit there, and I was like, is this the right book I'm on about? But yeah, that book gives you basically everything under the sun about guitars, you know, in a nutshell, which is nice. Before I got my Les Paul then, I realised that my amp wasn't going to cut it, but I didn't need a massive expensive amp. So I picked up a Marshall. This is a 15 watt amp. This is 15 watt, but this is, you know, 15 watt with balls, and this one isn't, even though this Fender amp is extremely good for what you get, in my opinion. If you're looking for an amp on a budget, I'd strongly recommend this one, and the distortion channel is actually quite good considering. But anyway, here we have, I don't know what it's called, maybe the G15X. FX or something. The model number is up there in the corner, but I can't actually read it right now. So yeah, it's a standard Marshall amp. It's really nice, 15 watt, blah blah blah, cool. Here we have a Blue Rock bass guitar amp that came with my bass, just a simple bass amp stacked up on here that obviously I use with my bass. Coming up then we have a random jack lead, very small one. That's because, ooh, look at that dust. Terrible. Anyway, dusting the top of amps is fairly difficult because of the gradient that they use. I think I use that little lead when I use this amp. You know, this is a sort of clip-on you go around. You know, this is a little Marshall portable amp. You know, is it 3 or 4 watts, something like that? Doesn't sound the best, but it's an awesome little amp. I love it to bits. My friend James got me that absolutely ages ago now. It feels like a different life, but yeah. Coming down here then, this is something that I used a lot when I got it, but maybe I'm thinking of selling in order to buy separate pedals. This is a Boss ME20, and at the time of getting it, I must have been about 12 years old. It was very, very good, because I could have, you know, this is your distortion pedal that you choose if you want, you know, overdrive, just a little bit of distortion, you know, heavy metal crunch, whatever. On this pedal, you've got all your, you know, chorus effects and everything on here, and your auto wahs and everything, and on here you've got all your reverbs and echoes, and then to top it all off you've got a little bit of a wah pedal. But what I just prefer these days, if I had a single overdrive pedal, a single reverb pedal or something, you know, something else, and a crybaby wah pedal. So I might sell this in order to do that, because it's perfect working order. I've got the power cable for it and everything. Here's all my jack leads. I've got one green lead which is maybe 2 meters long, and then I've got a no, I'd say this is actually 1.5 meters, and then a 3.5 meter black jack lead, which is actually fairly high quality. It's quite nice. But yeah, that's all my guitar stuff. Coming around then into the little sort of booth section, I guess you could say. I like to section myself off. I've got the roof there. The keyboard is sort of cutting me off from the rest of the room. If you come up here, you can see my M-Aideo Key Station 88, I believe it's called. It's an 88 key MIDI controller. It's as simple as any MIDI controller out there, but it's just, you know, 88 keys long, which is fantastic. I really, really like it. I'm gonna have to speed this up a little bit, guys. It's getting a little bit out of hand. But anyway, yeah. Whoa, that made me jump. M-Aideo Key Station 88. Got a couple of monitors on here. These are actually computer speakers. I was using these for the back speakers in my surround sound setup, and I had these big, oh, you saw them, my bookshelf speakers that I used to test out my 80s hi-fi. I was using these up here, but it got a little bit too big, and these sound just as good. You can see I've got a sustain pedal. So that's all cool. The reason I got such a long one is because I actually play piano and I wanted to play it like an actual piano to input data. You can see all the cables coming down from it there. It's on a simple stand made by Stag, possibly, Stag. Here you can see a mic, just a standard mic. Who makes it? Skytech or Skytronic or something. On a boom stand. Use this for everything under the sun, always have. It's my first mic that I ever got. You can see the speaker stand there for the other speaker. I can rotate it this way or that way, which is really nice depending. Coming down here then, you see the subwoofer and amplifier for those two little speakers. In here we have a really nice M-Aideo studio mic. Let's have a little look. The zip is a bit dodgy. Here you have it for any recordings. This is the mic of my choice. Very nice mic. And we also have all the adapters and everything for it down here, you know, to go on to the standard microphone boom pole and everything like that. Down here we have my rack, as I like to call it, even though it's not very impressive. We've got my headphones down there. Dual CD deck, one with burner, quite handy if you're making multiple copies of CDs. My 600 watt Skytech amp to drive all my speakers. Used to use that with my discos, use that with the little speakers in here now. And then we have a 50 watt amp which I used to drive those speakers over there. I've just got that powered up now just to show you what it looks like, but you can see that amp is very simple. It's a really nice little amp actually. Coming up here then to the rest of the sound gear, we have my mixer. I've always used this guy, it's really nice. This is my first mixer I ever got and my only mixer. It's an effects model with a digital effects selector. I got this years ago now, so this is probably a fairly old model, but you know, it's got 99 built-in effects, you know, 4 mono and 2 stereo. They call it 8-channel because of the switchables at the top and everything, but yeah, it's quite a nice little mixer. It does the job, and yeah, that's all I care about. And it's nice quality, it's heavy, and the faders are really nice and everything. Down here we have the Ample Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. And here we have my faithful PowerBook. You can get an idea. This computer now is playing through the monitors only, but I can patch it through the main speakers as well. But it's nicer in this little section to have just the sound, like really nice quality near you, if you get what I'm saying. I've got this project open because you guys all recognise it. I did a screen recording of this particular GarageBand project. So that's my little setup. By the way, the PowerBook is going to be replaced soon, possibly, who knows. Keep an eye out for the video. Behind here we have my capo, or capo, however you say it, guitar slide and a guitar pick. Coming around then, we have my DJ deck setup. We've got a load of sockets down there, a load of sockets down there. You have a little bin there. Here's my deck setup. Now I use my decks both to listen to records and to play around with a little bit of DJing stuff. We've got a flight case there for my mixer, just in case I want to take it anywhere. All my vinyl down there. There's all my like beats and everything, scratching stuff, God knows what. This is a stack of actual stuff that I like to listen to. Then this box full is full of stuff that I like to listen to as well. We've got Aerosmith at the front, which is on the turntable at the moment. Here we have the Gemini headphones. They are the... Is that a D? Yeah, obviously. DJX-05s. Really nice, match my turntables. Got them for Christmas, I absolutely love them. Got on a little hook there on this table that my dad built for me. And then we have my 2 Gemini XL500 Mark IIs. I've got a video on these if you're interested. And my Gemini 3-channel mixer. The PS626 or something. Let's have a look. Not too bad. PS626X. All this stuff could do with a little bit of a dust, but anyway. You know, you've got 2 phonos with switchable line inputs at the back here. You've got a mic in, and you've also got 2 lines on here, switchable. So it's simple. You've got, you know, different monitor selects and everything for your headphones, whether you want to listen to both decks through one. All the simple stuff. The mixer is plugged directly into the mixer over there. So you kind of get the idea. You can definitely say that I am wired for sound, and this is my left hand, so not doing too badly. There you have it. That was a bit of Aerosmith, by the way. So yeah, I mentioned all that vinyl down there. I'm not big on scratching or beat juggling or anything like that. I just like to have a little play about. I've still got the standard cartridges and styli on there. I've got these slip mats, the no cheese ones. They're really nice, really slippy, hence the name. So yeah, everything's looking great. Just give you a little overall view of the room. Drums, everything there, nice. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this. This is my guitar clock that I never look at for the clock. I just really like it because it's a nice guitar. and it's got nice neon lights around it. So that's the tour of my music room, everyone. Hope you like it, hope it was worth the wait, and stay tuned for future updates, maybe in a few years or something like that. So yeah, my tour of a geek's room will be coming very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.